Good morning, everyone. I won't take much of your time. May I begin by recognizing the presence of the ministers here, the chairperson of SARA board, the president, SARA CEOs, and may I simply say good morning to all the delegates. My name is Davis Puele from DBSA. I'm a senior vice president there. And I'm proud to say that we've been supporting SARA for the past 10 years or so, when it was not fashionable. That's why you can see the only lender that is on the board is DBSA. But I think most of you who've listened to me before are more practical than speeches. I always speak of what we've done, what we intend to do as the DBSA. As you all will know, one of the greatest mandate as a DBSA is to finance infrastructure in transport. And this is transport across the value chain. So you're talking rail, road, ports, and so on. I really don't like that word pit to port, because it means there's no beneficiation. I'll start with what we've been doing as a DBSA. The first transaction that we did as a DBSA was 100 million for Tanzania rail in the standard gauge rail. That was about 5 years ago. And I've been reporting this every year in our SARA meetings. The following one we did was a 2.5 billion rand for Trans-Namib. Between last year and this year, this conference, as I had reported last year, first and foremost, we did what I would call one of the transformational transactions. As you heard our minister speak, she spoke of the Lobito corridor. This is going to be one of the most critical corridors in our region, particularly for the DRC, Zambia, and Angola. And I'm proud to say that DBSA is the only African financing institution that participated. And I want to proudly say that we put in 200 million in that transaction. We also did another transaction between last year and this year, and all these are in rail, for CFM. CFM is the rail company in Mozambique. And this one, we did it, if you remember, colleagues, I mentioned to you that individually we are small, but as a collective we are big. And what we did as DFIs, or Development Financial Institutions on the continent, was to come together and formed a group of 5. This is African DFIs to sort out African problems. And we are putting our heads together to try and address the logistics challenges insofar as the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement is concerned. And this group of 5 is made up of, obviously, DBSA ourselves, Africa Development Bank, Afrexim Bank, IDC, and the new or BRICS Bank. I'm actually proud to announce that I think this year we've got prominence from Africa Development Bank and Afrexim Bank, which is a great thing for us. So we did one transaction this year with Africa Development Bank, Afrexim, and ourselves for CFM. Going forward, and I expect to be held accountable next year as I speak to you, we intend to do the following transaction or projects. The first one is, obviously, we're reaching almost the advanced stage. I see my colleagues from Botswana Railway are there. We're looking at Botswana Railways. We're looking, I saw Vice President Nixon Dlamini is here. We're looking at Eswatini Railways. I see the chairman of Zambia Railways is here. We are also looking to do something with Zambia Railways. And also, I was trying to see where my sister from NRZ is. We're also looking to do something with NRZ. Now, a lot of yourselves, particularly bankers or lenders in the conference, will be wondering why or how we've managed to structure funding to railway companies in the region. As we all know, there are few of them whose balance sheet on their own are bankable. But then, they've got very strong off-takers. They're moving cargo for other people. And what we've managed to do, all these, I mean, we are close to $1 billion plus dollars. We've funded these transactions based on their off-take. One thing that these railway companies have, and I can attest to that from the transactions that we've done, is they've got technical know-how. They have that. So we have to change our mindset and see how we can fund. I always say this, I'm sure most of you are even getting bored of it, is that how can we have a commodity boom and the railway companies are not making money? Because commodity boom, a good part of that is energy and logistics. So how can a miner be making money when the railway companies are not making money? If you look at N4 and the congestion all the way Richards Bay and so on, I don't know. I mean, right now we're in Eswatini and we're looking to do the Swazi link. Once we do that Swazi link, it will change the dynamics of how we do logistics in the region. I was just talking to my colleagues of Angola, that once we do that Namib corridor, that will change the dynamics of doing business. So we've got the Lobito up there, you've got Namib down here. Then you've got the Tazara right there. You've got the Beira. You've got the north-south corridor. One thing for a fact is that we haven't invested in rail because we've been looking at rail lines as, number one, not bankable. But as I've challenged lenders, I want to challenge you as utilities or rail companies that indeed these rail companies are bankable. I also want to say that we are also working with private sector rail companies. And one of them is Green Road. The one thing that I want to again challenge this conference this year is that let's deal with that connectivity of railway. How can trains move from DRC to South Africa and so on without stopping? I think that IATA model should really be the model that we should all aspire to. But I'm proud to say that for us, we report progress and not just stories. I thank you.